product universe here. Karoline Leavitt displays how foreign countries have taken advantage of the United States.
Karoline, does President Trump have any plans?
Nice weather. Everybody's out. It's Monday. We have another big week. On Wednesday, it will be Liberation Day in America, as President Trump has so proudly dubbed it. The cabinet will be here for the event. It'll be our first Rose Garden event of this administration. So you all will be invited to attend and cover this historic moment. The president will be announcing a tariff plan that will roll back the unfair trade practices that have been ripping off our country for decades. He's doing this in the best interest of the American worker. We also had great news this morning on the border. Our Homeland Security team, our national security team, continues to do an incredibly effective job when it comes to deporting foreign terrorists from American soil. 17 Tren de Aragua and MS-13 illegal criminal terrorists were deported from our country back to El Salvador, and they will no longer ever be able to say they can roam free in this country under this president. These were convicted felons, murderers, rapists who are no longer in our country, and I think we should all be very grateful for that. I'll take some questions.
Is there anything these countries can do at this point to stave off these tariffs? And has the president decided on the scale and scope of these tariffs?
Well, I think first of all, unfortunately, these countries have been ripping off our country for far too long, and they've made, I think, their disdain for the American worker quite clear. If you look at the unfair trade practices that we have, 50% from the European Union on American dairy, you have a 700% tariff from Japan on American rice, you have a 100% tariff from India on American agricultural products, you have nearly a 300% tariff from Canada on American butter and American cheese. This makes it virtually impossible for American products to be imported into these markets, and it has put a lot of Americans out of business and out of work over the past several decades. So it's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people, and that's going to take place on Wednesday.
And what about the scope of them? He said yesterday he would be more generous. What does that mean?
I will let the president make the announcement on Wednesday, but it's certainly going to ensure that there's reciprocity and the American people are treated fairly.
Has the White House determined how many countries are going to see these reciprocal tariffs?
Again, I'll let the president get into the specifics of the announcement, but he has a brilliant team of trade advisors. You have Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick, Jamieson Greer, our U.S. Trade Representative, Peter Navarro, of course, and Kevin Hassett here at the White House, Stephen Miller as well. The Vice President has been deeply involved in these conversations. All of these individuals have presented plans to the president on how to get this done, and it's the president's decision to make, and we will not get ahead of him on the specifics of the announcement.
And has the stock market sell-off caused the White House to rethink any of these plans?
The president has always said that the stock market is a snapshot of a moment in time, and he's doing what's best for Main Street, and Wall Street will work out just fine in this administration, just like they did in their first term.
As you said last week, Caroline, you said there would be an investigation or a review into how Jeffrey Goldberg's number got on that group chat. What's the status of that review, and what is the status of National Security Advisor Mike Waltz?
As the president has made it very clear, Mike Waltz continues to be an important part of his national security team, and this case has been closed here at the White House as far as we are concerned. There have been steps made to ensure that something like that can obviously never happen again, and we're moving forward, and the president and Mike Waltz and his entire national security team have been working together very well. If you look at how much safer the United States of America is because of the leadership of this team.
On the tariffs, are there going to be sector by sector announcements this week at the event you're alluding to? I think you'll be focusing on sectors or more country-based tariffs?
The goal of Wednesday are country-based tariffs, but certainly sectoral tariffs. The president has said he's committed to implementing them, and I'll leave it to him on when he makes that decision and that announcement. Steve.
Any exemptions for farmers being considered for these tariffs?
No exemptions at this time.
Can countries that don't have tariffs on the US but may have other forms of non-tariff trade barriers, I'm thinking in my case of Australia, can they expect to be hit on in Wednesday's announcement, or can they expect to be left out and dealt with another time?
Again, I'll let the president make the announcement on Wednesday, but I think any country that has treated the American people unfairly should expect to receive a tariff in return on Wednesday.
Karoline, you talk about the European Union. Is the president expected to impose those tariffs in blocks, or will he distinguish countries within those trading blocks?
Again, I will let the president get into the specifics of the announcement. It's his announcement to make. It's going to be very exciting. We'll see you guys in the Rose Garden. And you will also hear directly from the president if you have any lingering questions. 5:30 this afternoon, or evening rather, although it's really afternoon for us. That's about midday for this president because he works all night. But he'll be signing an executive order. It will be the in-house pool in the Oval Office, and we'll see you all there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Karoline.
Karoline Leavitt did a brilliant job explaining how foreign countries have taken advantage of the United States. By bringing out the receipts, she showed an interesting graphic, a chart that represents the unfair trade practices that America faces from foreign countries, including our allies. Tariffs against our American goods from Canada, India, and Japan. Overwhelming tariffs, which make it impossible for our products to do business in their countries, as the tariffs make the American goods way more expensive in those countries than the goods which those countries produce and sell in their own country, their own domestic goods. That is why April 2nd, 2025 will forever be known as Liberation Day, as this is the day where America gets even. Reciprocity will be achieved, as the United States will implement the same tariff that the foreign country places. So, for example, from the chart that Karoline Leavitt showed, if Canada places a 300% tariff on American butter and dairy, then America will in turn place a 300% tariff on Canada's butter and dairy, leveling the playing field, and will eventually force those countries with the high tariffs to bring their tariffs down, as the economic impact of what is to come will not be worth it, and this will force the companies from foreign countries to come back to America, thus delivering a huge economic win for America and President Trump. And if they keep the tariffs, then America will collect a fortune which could be used to eliminate the income tax. That is an idea that President Trump has been floating around for some time now, by collecting enough money from the External Revenue Service that they can abolish the income tax and pay off that tax with the money they have collected from foreign countries. Karoline Leavitt did a great job showing how unfair our allies have been to us economically, as she showed the American people in a simple chart why the April 2nd reciprocal Liberation Day tariffs are needed, and what they will do, and how they will be successful for the American people. It is time that America stands up for our American products, American businesses, and the American people. Thank you, President Trump, for standing up for American businesses and wanting American businesses to be able to compete in foreign markets and to make more money for their families. This deserves to be shared because this was an awesome moment from Karoline Leavitt, where she brilliantly described the April 2nd Liberation Day reciprocal tariffs to the American people and the media. But that's just my 2 cents, and you are entitled to your 2 cents. If you want, share your opinion in the comments below, as all viewpoints are welcome. If you enjoyed this informational and educational video, then give the video a like and turn on my channel notifications so that you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and God bless America.